July 17, 1762. A country estate outside St. Petersburg. Former Emperor Peter III has been under guard for 8 days since his wife seized his throne in a bloodless coup. The official report will say he passed away from hemorrhoidal colic and an apoplectic stroke. Nobody believes that. Alexei Orlov was the last person to see him alive. And here's the thing. Catherine knew exactly what would happen when she let the Orlov brothers take Peter to that isolated estate. She never said the words. She didn't have to, because that's how a Taurus operates when you push them too far. They don't explode, they don't make scenes, they wait 17 years. They learn fluent Russian, they study military strategy, they seduce the right people, and when they finally strike, it's over in hours. And wait till you see what her chart predicted about how she'd build the biggest empire in Europe. The Gemini moon gave her the strategic genius. The Aquarius rising gave her that progressive image everyone loved. But that Taurus sun, that's what made her absolutely unstoppable, because once a Taurus decides they want something, they will get it, no matter how long it takes. Catherine wanted an empire, and she took one. If you're obsessed with understanding historical figures through astrology, hit subscribe. And listen, I want to know, would you rather have Catherine's Taurus ambition knowing it comes with her ruthless side, or would you pass on that kind of power? Drop your take in the comments, because I'm genuinely curious if you'd want her energy in your chart or if it's too intense. So, let's talk about who we're dealing with. Catherine II, born May 2nd, 1729 in Stettin, Prussia. Taurus sun, Gemini moon, Aquarius rising. This is one of the most powerful Empress charts you'll ever see. The Taurus sun gives her patience, determination, an obsession with luxury and beauty, and most importantly, the ability to wait for the perfect moment, then strike with absolute commitment. Tauruses are ruled by Venus. They understand pleasure, they understand power, and they understand that sometimes those two things are the exact same thing. The Gemini moon adds intelligence, adaptability, charm, and communication skills. She's not just stubborn, she's strategic. The Aquarius rising gives her this progressive, enlightened image. People see her as forward-thinking, innovative, intellectual. It's the perfect mask for a Taurus who's actually building an empire brick by brick. And here's what you need to understand about her chart. We don't have her exact birth time, so we're working mostly with that Taurus sun. But honestly, that sun sign alone explains everything. When a Taurus sets a goal, they don't deviate, they don't quit. They might wait decades, but they will achieve it. Catherine decided at some point that she deserved to rule Russia, and 17 years later, she did. Born Sophie Friederike Augusta von Anhalt-Zerbst. Say that 5 times fast. Minor German princess, impoverished noble family. Her parents were hoping for a son. Classic. They didn't show her much affection, which tracks for someone who'd later crave power and validations on an imperial scale. But she was smart, like genuinely brilliant, typical Taurus. She collected knowledge the way other people collect shoes, read everything, French, German, Russian eventually. Philosophy, history, political theory. That Gemini moon made her adaptable and intellectually curious, but the Taurus sun made her retain everything and use it strategically. At 14, she gets invited to Russia to meet Grand Duke Peter, heir to the Russian throne. Empress Elizabeth wants to marry him off, and Catherine's mother has connections. Taurus luck. Right place, right time, exactly the right bloodline. Catherine takes one look at this opportunity and makes a choice that will define her entire life. She converts to Russian Orthodox Christianity, takes the name Catherine, learns Russian fluently. And here's where you see the Taurus determination. Peter keeps being Peter, which is to say an absolute disaster of a human. He's neurotic, probably alcoholic, definitely immature, obsessed with Prussia and military uniforms, possibly impotent. Their wedding night is apparently a joke. For 8 years they don't have a child. 8 years. And the whole Russian court is watching, waiting, judging. But Catherine? She's not sitting around crying about her terrible marriage. She's studying, reading Voltaire and Diderot, writing to French philosophers who think she's fascinating, learning Russian politics inside and out, making strategic friendships with nobles and military officers, and yes, taking lovers, because Taurus is ruled by Venus. They understand that sensuality is power. Her first lover is probably Sergei Saldikov, and he's most likely the real father of her son Paul, born in 1754. Peter probably isn't the father. Catherine will later basically confirm this. But she gives Russia an heir, which secures her position. Classic Taurus move: invest in your future, play the long game. The marriage is toxic. Peter parades his mistresses around, humiliates Catherine publicly, probably threatens to divorce her, but watch what Catherine does. She doesn't fight back openly. She doesn't make scenes. She's a Taurus. She waits. And while she's waiting, she's building her network. Grigory Orlov, an artillery officer, becomes her lover around 1761. He has 4 brothers, all military, all loyal to her. She's also cultivated relationships with powerful nobles, church leaders, anyone who matters. Because Tauruses don't just want power, they want secure power, stable power, power that can't be taken away. December 25th, 1761, Empress Elizabeth passes away. Peter becomes Emperor Peter III. Catherine becomes his Empress consort. And immediately, Peter starts destroying himself. He ends Russia's participation in the 7 Years' War. They were winning. And he just gives back all the conquered territory to Prussia because he admires King Frederick. The military's furious. Then he tries to take over church lands. The clergy turns against him. He talks about going to war with Denmark over some duchy nobody cares about. He's alienating everyone, and Catherine is sitting there watching, waiting. That Taurus patience is finally about to pay off. Because here's what people don't understand about the Taurus archetype. They're slow to anger. They'll endure a lot. But there's a line, and once you cross it, once a Taurus decides you're a threat, they don't just react. They eliminate the problem permanently. July 8th, 1762. Catherine is at her summer palace. Middle of the night, someone wakes her up. One of the conspirators has been arrested. If she doesn't move now, Peter will come for her. He's probably planning to divorce her, marry his mistress, maybe even imprison her. This is it. 17 years of waiting, now or never. And watch how fast a Taurus moves when it's time. By dawn on July 9th, Catherine is in St. Petersburg. She goes straight to the Izmailovsky Regiment barracks. The soldiers adore her. She's learned Russian, respected their traditions, converted to Orthodoxy. Peter has done none of that. She asks them to protect her. They proclaim her Empress Catherine II on the spot. From there, she goes to the Semenovsky Regiment. Same thing. Then the Preobrazhensky Regiment. Then the cavalry. Within hours, 14,000 troops are marching with her to the Winter Palace. The clergy ordains her, the nobles swear allegiance. It's over. Peter tries to flee to the naval base at Kronstadt. The fleet literally fires cannons at his boat. They've already declared for Catherine. He comes back, realizes he has zero support, and the next day, he signs the abdication papers. Didn't even fight, just gave up. Classic Taurus victory. She didn't have to chase him down. She positioned everything perfectly, so when she finally moved, there was nothing he could do. 8 days later, Peter is found in a country estate outside the city. The official story is hemorrhoidal colic and a stroke. The real story is Alexei Orlov, Grigory's brother, was the last person to see him alive. Did Catherine order it? She never said the words, but she knew. Of course she knew. This is a woman who spent 17 years planning. You think she didn't plan for Peter? But here's the Taurus brilliance. She stays silent, never confirms, never denies. The official story is absurd and everyone knows it, but she doesn't care. Peter is gone. She's Empress. That's all that matters. September 22nd, 1762. Catherine is crowned in Moscow's Assumption Cathedral. She's 33 years old. She has no blood claim to this throne. She's a German princess who took a Russian crown through a coup. And she's going to rule for 34 years. Let's talk about what she did with that power, because this is where the Taurus Empire builder really shows up. First, move, money. The treasury is empty. Elizabeth spent everything, so Catherine seizes all church property. 1/3 of Russia's land and serfs just became state property. The clergy is furious but powerless. She needs that money to run the empire, and Taurus is nothing if not practical. Then she starts expanding. Remember, Taurus doesn't just want. Taurus acquires, builds, accumulates. Under Catherine, Russia gains about 200,000 square miles, annexes Crimea in 1783 after defeating the Ottoman Empire twice, partitions Poland 3 times. By the end of her reign, Russia stretches from Eastern Europe to Alaska. She's building an empire, and she's doing it methodically, strategically. with a combination of military force and diplomatic brilliance. That Gemini moon helps her negotiate. The Taurus sun helps her commit. She doesn't just want territorial gains. She wants them permanent. But here's where the Venus influence really shows up: the luxury, the art, the culture. Catherine creates the Hermitage Museum, starts as her personal collection in the Winter Palace. By the time she's done, she owns 38,000 books, 10,000 gems, 10,000 drawings, hundreds of paintings, Rembrandt, Rubens, Raphael. Taurus loves beauty, and Catherine is collecting it on an imperial scale. She commissions palaces, gardens, the famous Amber Room. Everything around her has to be beautiful, luxurious, perfect. Because Taurus doesn't just build empires, they build comfortable empires. And then there's the lovers. Oh, the lovers. Catherine has at least 12 documented relationships throughout her reign. Some say 22. She's not hiding it, she's not ashamed. Because Taurus understands something most people don't. Sensuality is part of how they experience power. After Grigory Orlov helps her take the throne, he's her official favorite for about 11 years. She rewards him with titles, money, palaces. But he keeps cheating. His enemies tell her he's been unfaithful, and in 1772 she's done. Replaces him with Alexander Vasilchikov, a handsome young officer who does not last long. Because Catherine met someone who changes everything. Grigory Potemkin, military genius, statesman, ambitious, intelligent. Allegedly missing one eye from a brawl with the Orlov brothers over flirting with Catherine. And apparently very well endowed. The letters between them survive. 1,162 letters and notes. They call each other twin soul, golden pheasant, husband and wife. Some historians think they actually married in secret. Whether they did or not, Potemkin is different. He's not just a lover. He's her co-ruler. She gives him control of the war ministry, makes him Governor General of New Russia, puts him on the Imperial Council. Together they expand the empire south. Potemkin masterminds the annexation of Crimea, founds new cities like Odessa and Sevastopol, builds the Black Sea Fleet. He's building her empire while she runs the government. And here's the Taurus genius. Even after their sexual relationship ends around 1776, they stay partners. Potemkin starts helping her choose new lovers, young military officers mostly. She wants them handsome, intelligent, useful. And Potemkin vets them like he's hiring staff, because he is. They're employees with benefits. This is pure Taurus energy. Pleasure, power, and practicality all mixed together. No shame, no guilt, just, this is how I operate. When Potemkin passes away in 1791 from a fever, Catherine is devastated. Writes to a friend that a terrible death blow has fallen on her head. Calls him her pupil, her friend, almost her idol. She never finds another love like that. Her later lovers are younger, politically insignificant, chosen more for looks than strategy. But Potemkin? He was the love of her life, and she used that love to build an empire. Let's talk patterns, because this is where astrology gets really satisfying. Pattern 1. Taurus patience leading to decisive action. 17 years of humiliation, waiting, studying, preparing, never loses her temper, never makes a stupid, emotional choice, just waits for the perfect moment. And when it comes, she doesn't hesitate. One night, one day, one coup, done. That's the Taurus way. Slow until it's time, then unstoppable. Pattern 2. Venus ruled power through sensuality. Every lover serves a purpose. Sergei Saltykov gives her an heir. Grigory Orlov gives her the military support to take the throne. Potemkin expands the empire and becomes her co-ruler. The younger officers, they keep her happy, which keeps her effective. She's not apologizing for this. Male monarchs have mistresses. Nobody blinks. Catherine has lovers. And suddenly she's scandalous, but she doesn't care. Taurus does what Taurus wants. Her body, her throne, her rules. Pattern 3. Builder mentality. She doesn't just inherit Russia. She expands it, improves it, modernizes it, commissions the Hermitage, founds new cities, writes legal codes, creates Russia's first state-funded school for women, corresponds with Enlightenment philosophers. Everything she touches, she makes bigger, better, more permanent. That's the Taurus drive. Leave a legacy. build something that lasts. She's not just ruling, she's empire building. Pattern 4, materialistic enlightenment. She loves enlightenment ideas, reads all the philosophers, writes about reform, talks about human rights. The nakaz, her legal code, is super progressive. But when peasants start revolting in 1773 with Pugachev's rebellion, she crushes them, brutally, because Taurus is practical over idealistic. She likes progressive ideas when they don't threaten her power, but stability comes first, always. She actually makes serfdom worse under her reign, extends it to Ukraine, which had been free, gives away crown lands to favorites, worsening conditions for peasants. By the end, there's barely a free peasant left in Russia. The Enlightenment ideas were real, but so was her need for control and support from the nobility. Classic Taurus pragmatism. Pattern 5. Stubborn determination through everything. Faces multiple threats. Pretenders claiming to be Peter III. Revolts. International criticism over Peter's death. Her own son, Paul, who hates her and thinks he should be ruling. She outlasts all of it, refuses to make Paul regent, refuses to step down. Rules for 34 years until she literally passes away while still in power. Taurus never quits. November 16, 1796, Catherine is 67. She's having a normal morning, goes to her bathroom, and stroke, collapses. They find her on the floor, rush her to bed. The doctor confirms it. She slips into a coma, never regains consciousness. The next day, November 17th, she's gone. That's it. No dramatic assassination, no palace intrigue, just a stroke. Her body finally gave out after 6 decades of determination. The rumors start immediately. Some say she passed away on the toilet. False, but it becomes a euphemism for assassination. Others say, look, people claim she went out trying to have relations with a horse. It's disgusting, it's false, and it shows you how threatened people were by her power. Even in death, they're trying to humiliate her with sexual rumors. But the truth? She ruled for 34 years, expanded Russia by 200,000 square miles, turned Russia into one of the great powers of Europe, created a cultural golden age. And she did all of it with no blood claim to the throne, starting as an impoverished German princess nobody expected to amount to anything. Her son Paul becomes emperor. He hates her, immediately starts trying to undo her work, even decrees that no woman should ever rule Russia again. But he doesn't last long. His own nobles eliminate him in 1801. Meanwhile, Catherine's legacy endures. The Hermitage is still one of the world's greatest museums. The cities Potemkin founded are still major ports. Russia remained a European superpower for the next century. She earned that title, Catherine the Great. Let's talk verdict. This is the ultimate Taurus empress. Everything about her chart manifested. The patience when she needed it. The ruthless action when the moment came. The sensuality as power. The love of luxury and beauty. The empire building. The stubborn refusal to ever give up. She waited 17 years for her moment, and when it arrived, she was ready. She used lovers strategically without shame or apology. She built Russia into something magnificent, even if she crushed anyone who got in her way. The Gemini moon gave her the intelligence to navigate court politics and the adaptability to learn Russian and win people over. The Aquarius rising gave her that enlightened, progressive image that made European intellectuals adore her. But the Taurus sun? That's what made her unstoppable. Once she decided she deserved that throne, nothing was going to stop her. Not Peter's threats, not the lack of a blood claim, not the scandals or the rumors or the son who hated her. She wanted greatness, and Taurus always gets what they want because Taurus doesn't rush, doesn't panic, doesn't give up. They identify the goal, they prepare, they position every piece, and when the moment is right, they take it. Catherine took a throne that wasn't hers, built an empire that changed history, and ruled for 34 years until her body gave out. That's Taurus energy in its most powerful form. Patient, sensual, determined, and absolutely unstoppable.